Hey everyone, my name is Hudson Davis. I am a junior here at the College of Worcester, and today I'm going to tell you all about my experience with the Apex Fellowship this summer. So this summer I had the incredible opportunity to be working as the paleontology field assistant and educator for the Burpee Museum of Natural History in Rockford, Illinois. The Burpee is a relatively small museum. However, despite its small size, Burpee has established itself as a very important museum in the world of paleontology over the last 20 years. Since 2001, Burpee has launched expeditions into the Hell Creek of Montana to look for some of the most iconic dinosaurs from the end of the Cretaceous, such as T-Rex and Triceratops. And starting in 2007, they also started launching digs into the Morrison Formation of Utah to look for some of the biggest dinosaurs to ever walk the earth. Burpee itself is home to some exquisite fossils found on those digs, such as Jane, an almost complete juvenile T-Rex, and Homer, a subadult Triceratops that was one of the first Triceratopses to ever be found in a herd. I first got involved with Burpee during the summer of 2021 through an event called PaleoFest, which is this weekend-long conference in which paleontologists and paleo fans from all over the globe come to the Burpee Museum to learn about new research happening in the world of paleontology. During the end of the event, there was an auction in which the Burpee was auctioning off one of the spots on their expedition for the summer. And by dumb luck and all the money I got from my stimulus checks, I was able to secure a spot on their Utah dig and spent a week out of my summer digging up long-necked dinosaurs in Utah. On that dig, I also made strong connections with the two paleontologists there, Josh Matthews and Dan Large. I was hooked, and I knew I had to go again, but I wanted to find a way in which I could do it so I could get more experience and be out in the field for longer. So I had an idea. I first talked to Apex to see if the museum was able to create a position for me if Apex would be willing to fund it, to which they, of course, agreed. Then I talked to Josh, seeing if he would be willing to create me a job in the first place, and he was super excited for the opportunity. So by the graciousness of Burpee for giving me a job and for the financial generosity of the Apex team, I was able to spend my entire summer digging up dinosaurs. My summer consisted of 3 different treks, each lasting for a month. The first trek took me back to the site where I had dug last summer, to the Morrison of Utah. The Morrison Formation is a world-famous site. Underneath the desert sandstones lie the tombs of giant dinosaurs such as the Apatosaurus, Diplodocus, and Camarasaurus, as well as other famous dinosaurs such as the ferocious Allosaurus and the charismatic Stegosaurus. During my time in Utah, I spent a lot of time using power tools known as air scribes to excavate the bones. I even learned how to repair them. In addition to that, my other responsibilities in Utah included not only the excavation and removal of fossils, but also the mapping of bones in the site, prepping of the gear we needed at the start of the day, as well as instructing our volunteers how to do the field work. While Utah was an incredibly difficult experience working in the heat for all day, it was also incredibly rewarding. We made significant progress on finds from previous seasons and even managed to remove bones from at least 3 species of long-necked dinosaurs, and even found a new Stegosaurus in the quarry. After our time in Utah concluded, we returned for Rockford for a month. During this time, I worked within the paleontology lab as well as the education department. Working in the lab, I gained experience cataloging microfossils from our Montana sites, as well as cleaning off and preparing bones for research in the lab. I learned a lot about anatomy and using hand tools during this time. For the education department, I helped lead several children's camps and museum tours, and it really helped me build my skills as a science communicator. It was also incredibly rewarding to work with such a tight-knit team, and getting to communicate my passion and love for paleontology with younger age groups. The final trek of my fellowship, we headed out to the Hell Creek Formation of eastern Montana to look for some of the most iconic dinosaurs to ever exist, such as T-Rex and Triceratops. During this time, I gained a ton of experience taking things that I had learned in my classes here at Worcester into practice, such as reading rocks in order to infer the depositional environment. I also learned how to successfully and effectively prospect for fossils and use hand tools such as awls and pickaxes to dig up fossils. During this time, I was also able to take skills learned in my preparation for the Apex Fellowship, such as networking, into practice, as there was a event known as the Dinosaur Shindig held by one of the museums in the area, in which many world-famous paleontologists, including some of my childhood heroes, were in attendance. I actually got to dig up dinosaurs with people I watched on TV growing up. I even got to be on TV in a show on PBS Montana called Backroads of Montana, alongside some of my closest friends within paleontology and people I looked up to since childhood. Montana was an incredibly rewarding experience, and it was highlighted when I actually discovered a Triceratops that I got to name. I named him George after my grandfather, who is also a geology alumni of the College of Worcester. For me personally, this entire summer has been just a highlight of my life. I've dreamed of being a paleontologist since I was 2 years old, and getting the opportunity to spend the entire summer working for a natural history museum and doing all the things I used to daydream about when I was in school growing up was an absolute dream come true. And there are so many people that I have to thank for this opportunity. First of all, I have to thank the Andrews family for providing the money that made it possible for my Apex Fellowship to exist, as well as the Apex team, including Carly Eplar and Kathy McConnell, for helping me along every step of the way, and my Apex advisor who checked in with me throughout the summer, Dr. Ryan Ozar. And of course, I have to thank everybody that I worked with at Burpee, but especially Josh Matthews, Dan Lard, Stu Cook, and Claire Jorgensen for being alongside me the entire summer and teaching me what it means to be a paleontologist and a scientist. Thank you so much for your time and listening to my report on my fellowship. I look forward to doing another one next year.